City My Game Pod Show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go. Yo, what is up? What is up? What is good, y'all? What is good, NFL fans? We are here for another episode of Raider J Reaction Tuesday here on the My City My Game Pod Show. I appreciate you being here. We're going to go over all of the NFL scores, stats. We're going to do live reactions, as well as we're going to open up the phone lines. We're going to open up the phone lines and let you call in and give your reaction. Speak your piece. As you can see, I do not have a hat on today. I usually always have a hat on, but today's not one of those days. So I got a fresh new haircut, so I figured I would lose the hat for today's show. But yeah, so it's going to be a good show, man. I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate you tuning in. Let's see. Do we have any? So we do have some, just real quick, do some housekeeping real quick to start the show off. Give some folks a chance to get up in here and get into the chat and all that good stuff. So we will be having some promos coming up for Black Friday for the merch on the website. Black Friday, I believe it's 25% off all of the Spotlight Sports Network merchandise. So you can go there and check out all the different channels, whichever one you're a fan of. What's up, Spotlight Football Talk? What's up, Roy? Good to see you. Good to have you in the chat. So you can go to the Spotlight Sports Network, and the link for particularly for My City My Game merch is down in the description. But you can go and you can click on that link, and that link will take you to the website, so you can check out other merchandise while you're there if you want to. But yeah, 25% off for Black Friday for the merchandise. What's up, Key? Key in the building. What's up, Kingston Rodriguez? Good to have you in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Also, we will be having some giveaways coming up here on the Spotlight Sports Network for some different stuff. So make sure that if you have not, whatever is your favorite channel, definitely like, subscribe, hit the notification button so you get all of the notifications, because we will be putting out a video announcing what that giveaway is going to be coming up here in the beginning of December. So got some cool stuff coming. If you're looking for Christmas presents or whatnot, definitely make sure that you hit that like, subscribe button, click the bell, because we're trying to grow this channel. We're trying to grow the Spotlight Sports Network channel, but we're also trying to grow the channels individually as well. So check it out. What's up, BL? Good to see you, man. Good to have you here. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I really think that is about it as far as what we got going on, as far as the network and stuff is concerned. So appreciate you all being here. If this is your first time viewing, definitely hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. Click all for all the notifications coming from the My City My Game pod show. If you are a Trailblazers fan, I will have some Portland Trailblazers stuff coming up. If you know a Trailblazers fan, make sure you let them know about My City My Game, because I will be putting some Trailblazers content. I have been paying attention to the off season. The off season has been very, very good for the Portland Trailblazers. It's going to be an exciting season. We're only a couple of seasons away from the Western Conference Finals that we went to a couple of seasons ago. So definitely, the season before last season. So make sure that you check that out. Check out all the Trailblazers content that's going to be coming up. So yeah, all right. Well, let's get right to it, man. We're going to get right into these NFL scores and stats. And again, I will be opening up the phone lines here in a little bit for you to call in and give me your reaction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the phone lines as we're going through the show. So if you'd prefer to call in and give your opinion on or reaction to a specific game that you saw or a specific stat, that sort of stuff, that you can call in. I will be putting up that number here in a little bit. But we have to make sure that we're being mindful and not trying to keep the phone lines, jammed up too long. I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to get a chance to call in. So first and foremost was a Thursday night game. It was the Cardinals versus the Seahawks. So the Seahawks defeated the Cardinals 28-21. I was really upset about this because I picked the Cardinals to win. I really felt like, the Cardinals have been playing really good football. They're 8-4 right now, or excuse me, 6-4 right now. The Seahawks are 7-3. I was really hoping they'd pull out that win, for one, because like I said, I had him in the pick 'em. But two, I just really felt like, the Cardinals have been bad for a long time. And I like what they're doing. And Brentson Buckner, who happened to be the defensive line coach for the Raiders last season, he's now the offensive or defensive line coach for the Cardinals. And so I really want him to have success because he did a really good job with the Raiders, and he was a really good coach. I kind of really started to like him during the Hard Knocks episodes. But yeah, man. So it was definitely definitely something that I want for them is to have success, because if they have success, then he'll have success. So let's pull up the box score on this real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Sorry, my computer is being a little bit slow tonight. What's up, Raider Nug? How you doing, man? All right, so Kyler Murray was 29 of 42 in this game, 269 yards. He averaged 6 point yards per attempt and 2 touchdowns. He was sacked a few times. QBR rating 64.3, and his passer rating is 102.2. So not a bad game for Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is definitely looking good. I was there's a little bit of controversy last season because I really felt like Josh Jacobs should have got Offensive Rookie of the Year, but it went to Kyler Murray instead. I felt like that was kind of a slight on Josh Jacobs, me personally. What's up, Malo? How you doing, man? I felt like that was a slight on Josh Jacobs because the guy, rookie season runs for over 1,000 yards. But Kyler Murray is definitely, I wasn't fully bought into him last season, but now I'm fully bought into this guy. Kyler Murray's the real freaking deal, y'all. Like, this dude, I thought he was going to be another Lamar Jackson, another, Cam Newton, somebody that could run and scramble, but probably didn't have the accuracy. Of course, with his size and stuff like that. But dude is the real deal, man. This guy is playing some really, really good football. And I love to see it, man. I love to see a guy, an underdog, somebody that people doubt, really prove the haters wrong, prove the doubters wrong, and go out and ball, man. Malo213 says, yes, he should have. Yeah, definitely Josh Jacobs should have won that last year, just based on the play last year versus, Josh Jacobs versus Kyler Murray. Russell Wilson, obviously one of the top quarterbacks in the league. He was 23 of 28 for 197 yards. He averaged 7 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked a few times, and he had a QBR of 43.6, which is very rare for Russell Wilson, and a passer rating of 119.8. So obviously Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. We don't really have to get too far into that, but Kenyon Drake had 11 carries for the Cardinals for 29 yards. Their run game is not all that good. I mean, it's nothing really to write home about. They're really an air it out kind of air it out and possibly run with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray had 5 carries for 15 yards. He had just 50% less than their starting running back, which was Kenyon Drake. So, but yeah, so they're playing good football. They're not running the rock a lot, but they probably would have won this game had they been able to establish a good run game. Carlos Hyde for the Seahawks, the old 49er. He had 14 carries for 79 yards. He averaged 5.6 yards per carry and a touchdown. Kenyon Drake did have a touchdown for the Cardinals, but again, only 29 yards in the game, 2.6 yards per carry. That's not going to get you a win, not in this league. Russell Wilson did scramble. did run 10 times for 42 yards. That's 4.2 yards per carry. You know, Russell Wilson's turning into one of those guys too, just like a Kyler Murray. I mean, this is a really good matchup between these two quarterbacks. Yeah, man, it's really good. Like they both can get out of the pocket and run, and you know they're both quick on their feet, but they can also sling it. So this was a really good game. I thought it was a good matchup between the two. Let's see. Let's go overall. Excuse me. Overall, you know they're pretty equal as far as first downs were concerned. Passing first downs and rushing first downs. I mean, really equally matched up. They both had a couple of penalties on first down, but Bial says nothing wrong with the rookie Ruggs. Young man doing a good job. Yeah, Malo says, what's up with Ruggs? Yeah, he is doing a good job. You know, you definitely have to be able to look at the tape. I'm just going to take a sidetrack here for a second. You definitely got to be able to look at the tape. You know, you can see it when you're watching the game. You can't see it all the time, but every now and then when you can see Ruggs running a route, you can see he's being double teamed. You know, the guy's young. It's going to take him some time to really, you know, figure that out. They're not teams aren't scheming for other wide receivers like they're scheming for Ruggs because of his speed. I mean, if the guy gets a step on you, you're done. Like he's wide open and that's a touchdown. I mean, you cannot teach speed, and dude has speed. So teams are definitely paying attention to that. They are not playing. He doesn't need to be you'd want him to be a precise route runner, but you know, he doesn't need that. I mean, with the speed, being able to get out in open space, and you know, like I said, if he gets a step on you, being able to just burn you, seeing him wide open, you're done, man. That's it. You know, touchdown, because you ain't catching him. You're not catching him. So, so yeah, man, they're definitely scheming for him. So he'll come out and he'll come through, especially as teams start seeing these other receivers like Aguilar and stuff. They're going to have to account for them as well. So if you watch the Kansas City Chiefs game, if you watch that game against Kansas City on Sunday, you can see just how much of a threat this offense is. Anyhow, sidetrack. Let's move on to the regular NFL and all the other teams. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone line. So if you do have something you want to react to, something I say about the team, or the game or the score, or if you have something else that you saw over the weekend, because we're all NFL fans. I watch all the games, or try to watch all the games. Definitely give a call. Let me throw that up here real quick. And I don't have a way to put you on call waiting. So if it rings and goes to voicemail, you can leave a voicemail and I'll play it. Or you can just go ahead and call back. It's totally up to you. But let me get this number put up here. Oh, that's not the number. Hang on just a quick second. I'll get it up here. So that number is... All right, here we go. Yeah, so the number is 503-765-6807. Feel free to give a call and let me know what your feedback is on the NFL game. So, all right, moving on. So now, get my computer to work here. So the next game up is... Sorry, guys, my computer is dragging. My son must be playing his Xbox.
Call from
Jim.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, what's up, Jim? How you doing?
Oh, not bad, man. How you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
I'm going to tell you the truth, man. I'm a Chiefs fan.
Uh-huh.
Well, I want to congratulate you guys, though, man. You guys had a hell of a game, though, man. I was going to call you and bang on you. But man, Carr's looking good. I ain't gonna lie, man. You guys got a squad. You guys got some players, man. So that's all I was gonna say, man. I'm not gonna get salty and rub it in your face like you guys did to us. But yeah, man, that's all I gotta say.
Right. No, yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it, man. We were due one. We were due a good rub it in your face smack talk because it's been a while since we beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and especially at
I agree.
Arrowhead. So
I
hopefully,
agree.
yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point they'll probably calm down. The rivalry is back. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. In Kansas City, man, the team as a whole, they took it real well. I saw um, some tweets and some interviews and stuff like that. Some quotes from some interviews from like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and they actually did a respectable. They were respectable when the game was said and done. They actually had some nice things to say about the Raiders. So at the end of the
Right.
day, it's all sportsmanship. But yeah, it is a rivalry, man, and it's back.
Right. I miss the old days when the Raiders and Chiefs used to bang it out in the '90s. I'm a '90s kid. You know what I mean? That's when I really started. I was about 10, 11 years old. You know what I mean? I started watching the Raiders and the Chiefs, and I miss them days when they used to bang it out. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, I wish AFC West would come back up again, and it looks like we're coming back together. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely, man. Most
that's what I
definitely.
like. That's what I like. And if we don't go to the Super Bowl, I hope you guys go to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So, but no doubt, man. But all right, man. Take it easy, bro.
Hey, you too, man. Take care.
Later.
All right, man. So yeah, first caller of the show. Yeah. So again, if you want to call in, definitely call in, and we're going to talk about these games in the NFL this week. Give me your reactions to the games. So next up, we got the Titans. Excuse me, the Titans and the Ravens. This was a really really good game. We pull up the Titans did win 30-24, which I totally assumed that they would win. I actually had them in my pick'em for the week. Um, the Titans are looking really good for one thing. But for another, hey, what's up, Sunjoku? How you doing? What's up, Hefe KC? Is it Jeffy KC or Hefe KC? But I want to say Hefe KC, but whatever. Um, yeah, so the Titans are playing really good football, but the thing about the Ravens is, first of all, the the Titans have the Ravens number. The Titans know how to beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. So I really saw this as a win for the Titans. I'm not sold out on Lamar Jackson like everybody else is. I've said it from the beginning of the season. After last season's playoff debacle where the Ravens crapped the bed. I was like, man, Lamar Jackson just doesn't have that it factor, and a lot of people will go out and they'll say he's a bust and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that he's a bust. I'm saying right now, as of right now, dude has no arm. The dude cannot throw the ball to save his life. He can run. He's freaky athletic. The guy has got a really good football IQ, but he can't sling the rock around the yard. And you got to be able to do that in today's NFL. That doesn't mean he's not going to be great one day. A lot of quarterbacks don't hit their stride and don't really have those breakout seasons until their late 20s to around 30. Lamar Jackson is still real young. It's going to take him some time. You don't necessarily have to come out and light it up, your rookie season or your sophomore season. So definitely not saying that he's not that he can't develop into that quarterback, but as of right now, he's not the one to take him to a Super Bowl and win a championship. Malo 213 says if we get our defense going, we can be unstoppable. Absolutely. Roy says Lamar is overrated, in my opinion. Yeah, right. As of right now, I definitely agree that he's overrated. So let's take a look at the box score here real quick. And yeah, feel free to call into the show. If you got something to say, you got a reaction, you want to speak on something real quick, definitely give a shout. The phone lines are open. So Ryan Tannehill was 22 of 31 for 259 yards. He averaged 8.4 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns. and an interception. He was sacked a couple of times. He had a passer rating of 104.1. Lamar Jackson was 17 to 29 for 189 yards at 6.4 yards per pass, a touchdown, an interception. He was sacked once. He had a passer rating of 74.8. That's not going to get it done. That kind of passer rating is not going to get it done. He did rush. Lamar Jackson did rush for 51 yards in the game. J.K. Dobbins had 15 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. Derrick Henry, 28 carries for 133 yards. Of course, that's Derrick Henry. That's what he's going to do. And he had a touchdown. Ryan Tannehill actually ran about 4 times for 35 yards. So they're definitely, the Ravens are very one-dimensional. Sanjoku, you're right on the money. They are one-dimensional, absolutely, positively. They're going to have to get that figured out, and then eventually if he doesn't come around, if they're not trying to win now, let the guy develop, work on him, and until you feel like he's not that guy anymore, like he's just not going to get there, then move on from him if you're not trying to win now. But if you're trying to win now, it's not Lamar Jackson. So, you can sit him down, keep him on the team, sit him down and put somebody else in there if you're trying to win now. And then, hopefully he gets to that point. But I really can't call it when it comes to what they're going to do or not do. I have a feeling they're going to stick with him, but I'm not their GM or their coach. So, all righty. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Hey, what's up, Aaron Davidson? How you doing, man? I appreciate you. And make sure if you guys are watching live right now and you've never subscribed, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'm definitely trying to get, I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. I'm going to be having a giveaway coming up here, a challenge to get to 500 subscribers. I'll let you guys know about it here in the near future, but definitely hit that notification bell so those notifications come to you, because I will put out the challenge giveaway here via video. So next up, we got the Chiefs and the Raiders. That's my team. So let's pull up. So the Chiefs defeat the Raiders 35-31. They're now 9-1. The Raiders are 6-4. Luckily for the Raiders, they got one of the easiest schedules for the remainder of the season. Patrick Mahomes, 34-45. I'm going to drop some interesting notes here. Patrick Mahomes, 34-45 for 348 yards. He averaged 7.7 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns and an interception, was not sacked. He had a QBR of 90.6 and a passer rating of 102.8. Derek Carr is 23 of 31 for 275 yards, averaging 8.9 yards per pass, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 0 sacks, had a QBR of 95.1 and a passer rating of 119.7. Kingston Rodriguez, real quick. Kingston Rodriguez says, "What's your channel name?" My channel name is My City, My Game. All capital, well, not all capitals, but each one of those is capital. My City, My Game. If somebody's having trouble finding it, let me see if I can real quick drop the link in the chat. And then we'll get right back to this Derek Carr, Patrick Mahomes matchup, because I saw some stuff on Twitter and some stuff on Facebook that made me go, that's interesting. So, but let me pull up the link here for the My City, My Game channel. Yeah, so some folks, I'm going to go ahead and talk while I'm doing this here real quick. Some folks were talking on Twitter, and they were trying to say that Patrick Mahomes lit up Derek Carr and the Raiders in their own stadium, and that he had a better game than Derek Carr. All right, here's the link for you. So I put the link there for you guys in the chat. So make sure that you check that out. Make sure you like and share, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. So folks on Twitter and even some of the talking heads out there on national media were saying Patrick Mahomes had a better game than Derek Carr. I'd have to disagree, and that's not just the Raider fan in me saying that. I'm not being biased. The numbers speak for themselves. Derek Carr had a passer rating of 119.7 versus 102.8 for Patrick Mahomes. That's just stats. I mean, that's the numbers do not lie. The numbers do not lie whatsoever. And hey, if you want to comment on this situation, you want to, have a little bit of a car debate, I'm totally okay with that. Definitely call the number and we can talk about it. But I'm not going to get too crazy with it, but definitely call in. I'm more than happy to discuss it. He had a quarterback rating of 95.1. Patrick Mahomes was 90.6. Derek Carr threw for more yards per pass than Patrick Mahomes. He was a little bit, it was like 70 versus 75%, I think, as far as completion percentage. And he didn't have as many yards as Patrick Mahomes, but he also didn't take as many, throw the ball as many times. He only threw the ball 31 times. Patrick Mahomes threw it 45. For me, the average pass per play or the average yardage per play and the QBR, that's the most important thing for me. And the touchdowns, three touchdowns for Derek Carr and 2 for Patrick Mahomes. So if you want, if people are going to sit there and say that Patrick Mahomes lit it up, he did not light it up. Derek Carr lit it up. If you really want to come down to it, he also lit it up in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. So I want to put this whole Derek Carr is not a good quarterback. Derek Carr is not the quarterback. Derek Carr can win us a championship. Derek Carr, I was skeptical of him and I was critical of him at the very beginning, but he has proved me wrong. So I want to say that right now. He has proved me wrong this season. He is definitely the guy. Does he make mistakes? Yes, absolutely. Does he have a defense that, is struggling at times? Absolutely. But Derek Carr can put a team on his back and make the throws and get the job done. He's extending the plays with his legs. I'm totally happy with how he's doing. And he, so far, is the only player, the only quarterback of all the teams Kansas City has faced this year. He's the only one to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes and even outdo him a little bit. So just throwing that out there. Hefe KC says, can't kick field goals playing the Chiefs. Absolutely not. Bial says 2 years for Mayock and Gruden to showcase a top-tier offense. It's just a matter of time to get the defense to get to top form. Absolutely. Kingston Rodriguez says, okay, I subscribe. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. All right, so Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 14 carries for 69 yards, averaging 4.9 yards per carry for 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 17 carries, 55 yards, averaging 3.2 yards per carry and a touchdown. Devontae Booker had 5 carries for 16 yards, no touchdowns. Le'Veon Bell carried the ball 7 times for 25 yards, and he had a touchdown. So pretty good running offense. Patrick Mahomes had about 16 yards running. Derek Carr had 6 yards running, and Henry Ruggs actually had 12 yards running in the game. So both teams pretty good as far as the run game was concerned and the pass game. That's why it came right down to it, right down to the last seconds. If Jonathan Abram hadn't blown that coverage on that last play, we might be talking about something different. We might have went into overtime. So anyhow, it was a really, really good game. I'm very, very happy with the Raiders. Obviously, Kansas City is still Kansas City. They're still doing their thing. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. He's still playing at that, MVP caliber level. Most definitely. I give him mad respect and mad props. The dude can ball out. When it comes to the organization, I can't stand y'all. And I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. I got no love for y'all. But I got to call it how it is, man. I got to call it how it is. And they play really well, man. But I'm excited about this rivalry moving forward. Definitely excited. We were going crazy. FAKC said Waller was balling out too. Yeah, most definitely. Darren Waller in that game, 7 receptions for 88 yards. That's 12.6 yards per reception and a touchdown. Travis Kelce was 8 8 receptions for 127 yards, 15.9 yards per reception, and 1 touchdown. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely that you could tell that John Gruden and Mike Mayock built this Raiders offense to go against Kansas City. Because if you can't see how many similarities there are, you're not paying attention. You can see where they were going with this whole thing. All right, moving on. Let's go. I could talk Raiders and AFC West all night long, but I'm going to move on to the next game. Next game, we got Eagles and Browns. This was kind of a stinker. I mean, I really, I don't even know what to say about the Eagles. The Browns barely beat them. I don't even know who the Browns have been playing, because how are they 7-3? Because they are not that good. They really aren't. They're not horrible, but they are not 7-3 good. I'm sorry, but the Browns beat the Eagles 22-17. Pull up the box score here real quick. Bial says Sunjoku and Graphics will be in Atlanta rooting and cheering our team in the victory next weekend. Awesome. I wish I could be there with y'all. Loyal to the soil, but for some reason they can't utilize Ruggs' talent. I don't get that. We talked about that just briefly earlier. There's a lot that goes into that as far as Henry Ruggs is concerned. I would not be too worried about him at this moment. Definitely give it some time. There's some reasons why he's not been showing up, a lot is because, the Raiders are trying to win. They're not trying to pad the stats. That's one reason, so if Ruggs is double teamed, Derek Carr's not going to throw him the ball, if it's not there. So, Bial says the Queefs did shut him down, double teaming up. Yes, they did. Kingston Rodriguez says 140 subs in 1 month. Nice. I couldn't even get 5 subscribers in 3 months. Hey, I thank you, man. Appreciate that, bro. Trying to put out that good content, man, and hopefully we can grow and grow and grow. Roy says Incognito's out for the season. Yes, he is. He is definitely out for the season. He is having surgery, but I'm not even tripping on that because, no pun intended, but we have got a good backup, in place of him. So Denzel Good's playing great football at left guard right now. So I'm totally happy with that. All right. So Browns, Eagles, 22-17. Carson Wentz was 21 of 35, 235 yards, averaging 6.7 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 5 sacks, QBR 20.3, passer rating 75.3. Carson Wentz, here's a fun stat for you. You guys want a fun stat? All right, here's a fun stat for you. Guess who leads the NFL right now in interceptions and fumbles? I'll give you a hint. His first name's Carson and his last name is Wentz. Carson Wentz leads the league in interceptions and fumbles this season. Carson Wentz got to learn how to take care of the football. You guys, I don't know if you guys how old some of my viewers are right now, but there was a game, or not a game, there was a movie, and I do believe Carson Wentz for MVP, right? I do believe that it is called, I think it's called The Program, if I'm thinking about the right one. And it's either Necessary Roughness or The Program. And in this, one of the wide receivers has a little bit of fumbleitis, and his coach, after the fumble happened, his coach went to him and said, "You take this football." And his coach was, I forget the guy's name, but he was in The Godfather. He was also in the movie Elf. But anyway, he takes the football, he hands it to him, he says, "You better hold on to this football, and if anybody brings this football to me but you, there's going to be consequences." So dude has to carry around the football in school, in class, everywhere, and all the other teammates, all his other teammates are trying to get the ball from him. so they can take it back to coach. They need to do something like that to Carson Wentz. Like, dude, take care of the football, man. Don't drop the football. Don't put the football in somebody else's hands. I mean, that's the basics. You know what I mean? Oh, Sunday Night Lights. Thank you. Loyal to the soil. Sunday Night Lights. That's basic. Basic football. Take care of the football. Don't turn it over. Don't drop it. Don't throw it to, somebody in a opposing jersey, bro. Yes, he doesn't have an offensive line. I get that. I totally get that. But dude, you could take care of the football better. You can't, offensive line or no offensive line. Throw the ball away, scramble, slide. Dude, quick pitch it, like check down something. Because Derek Carr, has had his issues, and there's been times where the offensive line wasn't the greatest for him. But at least the dude got the ball out of his hands into, on a check down or something. You know what I mean? Or throw it away. But like, come on, man. You lead in fumbles and interceptions, man. That's just crazy. Crazy. Carson Wentz is Bruce from The Longest Yard. Yes. Bial says, LOL, don't lay down in the middle of the road. Right? Loyal to the Soil says Al Pacino and LL Cool J. Yes. All right. So, Baker Mayfield. Now that my Carson Wentz rant is over. Baker Mayfield, 12 of 22 for 204 yards, averaging 9.3 yards per pass, 3 sacks, QBR 24.8, passer rating 86.2. Can somebody please, for the love of God, tell me how this team is 7-3? Their strength of schedule is remarkable. It's just crazy. Baker Mayfield is not a good quarterback. And anybody that thinks he is doesn't know football and is not paying attention. Nick Chubb carried the ball 20 times for 114 yards, averaging 5 yards per carry. His longest was 54 yards. Miles Sanders for the Eagles carried the ball 16 times for 66 yards, averaging 4.1 yards per carry. No touchdowns. Kareem Hunt did have a touchdown in this. He only ran for 11 yards on the game, but he had a 1 touchdown. Yeah, and then not a lot to really talk about when it comes to receiving. The top receiver for the Cleveland Browns had 73 yards on the game. The top one for Philadelphia, Dallas Goedert, had 77 yards. I mean, with Cleveland, all running with Cleveland. I mean, it's the running backs, man. But one-dimensional teams, how do you win this much? I don't get it, man. It's one of them things. Just one of them things. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. All right, moving on. Let's move on to the next game. If you're in the chat right now, or you're watching live and you have not yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You're more than welcome to call into the show if you got a reaction. You want to talk about something specifically on one of these NFL games this week. Feel free to hit the line up, and we can definitely chat. All right, next up, Falcons and the Saints. The Saints put a whooping on the Falcons, 24-9. Didn't look like the Falcons really, were putting up much of a fight anyway. We got some stuff in the chat. Hold on real quick. Ortonic Super Bowl predictions. Oh, I'll talk about that here in a minute, definitely. Raider Nug 209. Loyal, you're thinking of Any Given Sunday. Yeah, maybe they are thinking about Any Given Sunday. You might be right. BL says Unger Max saying they're a mirror image of the Raiders. I cannot agree with that take, BL. Not your take, but Unger's take. I cannot agree with. Loyal to the Soil says, yeah, bro, that's the name. Damn good movie. Raider Nug says, absolutely. All football movies are good movies. Who likes Rudy? That is one of my favorite movies of all time. Rudy, the invention of the slow clap in Rudy. Anyhow, all right. So the Saints 24-9 against the Falcons. Let's pull up the box score here real quick. I do not at this point, Ortonic, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think the Saints are going to the Super Bowl. That's for sure. Not after, Drew Brees gets banged up and all that kind of stuff. I still don't think they're going to, I don't think at this point they're going to make it. Model 213 says, shout out to the Goonies. Absolutely. Roy says, draft day. All right, so Matt Ryan was 19 of 37 for 232 yards, averaging 6.3 yards per pass, 2 interceptions, sacked 8 times. QBR 19.3, passer rating of 48.5. Oh, it's rough to be Matt Ryan right now. Talk about going from the mountaintop to the valley low. Man, that's rough. Taysom Hill, for his first start as a quarterback in the NFL ever, Taysom Hill is 18 of 23 for 233 yards, averaging 10.1 yards per pass, no touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 3 times. QBR was 68.3, passer rating of 108.9. Dude might be legit. He might be legit. Taysom Hill might be a legit QB. I still don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl, make it to the Super Bowl. I still don't think they're going to win everything. Even when even if Drew Brees comes back, I really feel like Drew Brees at this point should probably just hang his cleats up and retire. But hey, that's just me. Aaron Davidson says, "What's your name, man?" I will. Matter of fact, I'll show you right now. Raider J 77. Loyal to the Soil says, my team, Notre Dame. Absolutely. Raider Nug says, too many good teams in the AFC record-wise. I think some of them will fold down the stretch. I agree. Yeah, so I don't think the Saints are going to be going to the Super Bowl this year. I think Drew Brees should retire. Todd Gurley carried the ball for the Falcons. 8 carries for 26 yards, averaging 3.3 yards per carry. Side note real quick, speaking of the Falcons, I believe it's Takk McKinley that was with the Falcons before actually just got picked up by the Raiders defensive end. Anyhow, Taysom Hill ran the ball, 10 carries for 51 yards, averaging 5.1 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns. If Taysom Hill can sling the rock around the yard, he did pretty well, but if he can continue to do really well and develop his arm and that shows out, he's going to be one of those dual threats that you got to watch out for too. Latavius Murray had 12 carries for 49 yards. Brian Hill for the Falcons had 4 carries for 18 yards. Taysom Hill had 2 rushing touchdowns. Alvin Kamara had 1. So all their touchdowns came off the run. We'll just have to see how he does with the old arm. Raider Nug says Brees still has something in him. Malo says, yeah, some broken ribs. Oh man, y'all. You're killing me. Malo, you're killing me. Okay. Woo. All right. Moving on. Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that. Yeah, so overall, definitely the Saints outdid the Falcons. The Falcons' third down efficiency was horrible. The Saints wasn't even that good, 4 for 11. The Falcons were 2 for 14 on their third down efficiency. Total yards for the Falcons, 248, 378 for the Saints. Yeah, pretty interesting all in all. All right, so move on to the next game because we got a few to go through. Ortonic says, you got Steelers or Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you right now. Aaron David said, hold on. Aaron David said, get to my show. How long are you going to be on? Aaron, I'm probably going to be, we usually go until about 6:30 Pacific time. So Falcons O-line looked like crap. Look for them try what Casey did on Sunday. I agree. Bial says he knows as Raider J77. So Ortonic, you got the Steelers or Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I feel like the Steelers will probably make the Super Bowl. I'm not 100% sold on them yet. I know they're playing really, really good football, but it's gonna be interesting to see how they perform in the playoffs. Everybody knows the playoffs are a different beast. So them just being brand new on the up, not brand new, but just playing really well this season. Historically, they've struggled the last few seasons, but they're playing really good ball this season. But I'm not 100% sure how they're gonna play up against some of these teams in the playoffs. So we'll have to see. But I definitely don't think that the Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl. I feel like, especially if the Raiders end up facing them in the playoffs in that first game in the playoffs, there's going to be a big upset there. So that's just my prediction. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. Roy says I don't think the Steelers will make the Super Bowl. Loyal to the Soil says Steelers going to choke in the playoffs. Raider Nug says Falcons O-line look like crap. Look for them to try what Casey did on Sunday. Yeah, I read that before. All right, so now moving on to the next game, Bengals versus the Washington football team, the no-name football team. Washington football team, as I suspected, beat the Bengals 20-9. We all know what happened. Ortonic says the Raiders are the Chiefs' kryptonite. I do believe they are. We all know what happened to poor Joe Burrow. You hate to see it. You really do hate to see it. Joe Burrow went down, season-ending leg injury. I believe it was his knee and some other stuff, MCL, and I don't know. Apparently he tore like several things and did some other structural damage. He's got to have surgery. I mean, the guy just got his leg just got demolished. You hate to see it, but before he went down, he was 22 for 34, 203 yards, 6 yards per pass, a touchdown, QBR of 35.8, and a passer rating of 90.7. Ryan Finley came in after Burrow went down, I believe, in the second or third quarter. Roy says MCL, ACL, and knee. Yes. Ryan Finley was 3 of 10, 30 yards, averaging 3 yards per pass, 1 interception. He was sacked 4 times, QBR rating of 21.9, and a passer rating of 0. So Ryan Finley is it's going to be rough. Sorry, Cincinnati. Man. All right, Alex Smith was 17 of 25 for 166 yards, averaging 6.6 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 sacks, QBR of 34.7, and a passer rating of 83.1. So, pretty standard Alex Smith. The guy, he's not the one to take him to a championship. I don't know what the Washington football team's going to do. I kind of feel like they need to just break it all down and rebuild and. Yeah, it's not looking too good for Washington. Ryan Finley had a carry for the Bengals for 19 yards. Samaje Perine had 5 carries for 19 yards. None of the runners had a touchdown. Antonio Gibson for the Washington football team, 16 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. J.D. McKissick, 6 carries for 43 yards. 7.2 yards per carry, not too bad. No touchdowns. The leading receiver for the Washington football team was Terry McLaurin, 5 receptions for 84 yards, 16.8 per reception. For the Bengals, it was Tyler Boyd, 9 carries for 85 yards, 9.4 yards per carry. If you had wide receivers from Cincinnati on your fantasy football team, I do apologize. I'm sorry. It's not looking too good for you. You should probably try to find a trade or go pick somebody up off the waiver wire, depending on how many teams you got in your fantasy football team or fantasy football league. Might be a little bit difficult, but there's some serviceable guys out there that get you through the end of the season. Hopefully win you the whole thing if you're doing well enough. All right, so moving on. Next up, we have Roy says Bengals should call Cap. Yeah, they should. They should definitely call Kaepernick. I don't know why Colin Kaepernick don't have a job right now. That's what I want to know. Why doesn't Colin Kaepernick have a job? I mean, the guy went to the freaking Super Bowl. Like, as many teams need a quarterback right now. Like, Dallas? Like, come on, man. For real? You're down to your third string quarterback and you don't even pick the phone up? And I know Colin Kaepernick wants a job because he came out and said he's ready to play in the NFL again. This season, he said that. So, anyway. All right, moving on. Next up, we got the Lions and the Panthers. You know, a lot of people thought the Lions were going to pull this one out. A lot of people thought the Lions, had their number. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. I like Carolina. I like what Carolina's doing right now. Even with PJ Walker, they're not doing too bad with a backup quarterback. So the Carolina Panthers defeat the Lions 20-0. Pretty sure that the Detroit Lions head coach, and for some reason I'm totally forgetting his name, but he used to be the defensive coordinator in New England. I can see his face with his stupid little pencil in his ear because I hate New England. But yeah, I don't think he's going to have a job much longer. Not after that, man. 20-0 Detroit Lions, or 20-0 Carolina Panthers. Matthew Stafford, 18-33 for 178 yards, averaging 5.4 yards per pass, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 5 sacks, QBR 23.1, and a passer rating of 70. You guys know that Matthew Stafford is actually projected to have a higher fantasy score this coming week than Derek Carr, because I have both of them on my fantasy team. Derek Carr is my starter. I had Matt Stafford just as a backup in case of emergency, pull break glass or whatever. But yeah, they're projecting Matthew Stafford to actually score more points than Derek Carr in fantasy this upcoming Sunday. I don't understand it, but whatever. PJ Walker, 24-34 for 258 yards, 7.6 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 1 sack, 31.3 QBR, or passer rating of 77.8. That's not bad for a backup. It's not bad. Not bad at all. You get Christian McCaffrey back, you guys can be a respectable team, most definitely. Raider Nug says Cap wants a long-term deal. Burrows is their future. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He might take a short one just to come in and play and kind of maybe show the league like, hey, I'm here. This is what I can still do. Y'all are sleeping on me. Stop letting the hatred or whatever, keep you guys from signing me. I would definitely, if I was him, I would definitely be like, hey, sign me up. I'm going to show you what I can do. Take this team to, possibly to the playoffs. If it's even possible at this point. I haven't looked at their record in a while, but yeah, Raider Nug says the Jets should call Cap. I think so too. The Jets need to move on from Sam Darnold, I think, personally. Roy says, shoot, I wanted Cap as our backup. Roy said Matt Patricia. Thank you. That was his name. Matt Patricia, the head coach of the Lions. Raider Nug says Matt Patricia also. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Yeah, so Adrian Peterson carried the ball for 18 yards total in the game, 7 carries for 18 yards. Their run game is horrific. Kerryon Johnson, 6 carries for 17 yards. Mike Davis ran the ball, was the leading back for Carolina, 19 carries for 64 yards, 3.4 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Then Rodney Smith had 8 carries for 29 yards. The leading receiver was DJ Moore for Carolina, 7 receptions, 127 yards. Again, you got a backup quarterback in there, and he's able to get DJ Moore the ball 7 times for 127 yards. That's 18.1 yards per carry or per pass, per reception, excuse me. And then Curtis Samuel, 8 carries for 70 yards. The leading receiver for the Lions, TJ Hawkinson, 4 receptions, excuse me, for 68 yards, no touchdowns. So Curtis Samuel did have a touchdown. I actually have him on my fantasy team as well. So he scores me pretty consistent points every week. Bial says the Bears could use a QB. Yes, they could. Icy Nate, what's up, man? How you doing? He says, what you think Tack and Vic will do for us? I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Because I didn't get a chance. I wasn't able to make the Reaction Monday, and Darian talked about that. Darian talked about that yesterday a little bit, but I'm gonna give my 2 cents here in a minute. All right, Steelers, Jaguars. Steelers obviously defeat the Jaguars 27-3. You know what irritates me? You know what I don't like? The Jaguars logo, the Jaguar with that stupid blue tongue, looks like he's been eating blue candy. I can't do it, man. I know it's one part of their color scheme, but I can't do it. I can't. All right. Ben Roethlisberger was 32 of 46 for 267 yards, averaging 5.8 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, an interception, QBR 69.8, and a passer rating of 89.7. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. This is how come I'm not 100% sold on the Steelers. Because, they're playing good football, but their strength of schedule is not that good. And 2, against the Jaguars, you can only score 27 points. You can only get a passer rating of 89.7 and a QBR of 69.8. You throw an interception, and you only pass for 267 yards. So you average 5.8. Just saying. All right. Icy Nate says, what do you says, what's up? Bial says, hopefully step up our defense. Raider Nug 209, the Bears should make a change while they still have weapons, still have needs on offense and good D. Yeah, definitely. Their defense, they're not going to be able to keep that defense together like that for much longer because it's going to be too expensive. Marcus 85 said, question for anyone, thoughts on Patricia as defensive coordinator, thoughts on Tom Cable and potential future coaching opportunities. We can talk about that here in a minute. So basically, yeah, Jake Luton for the Jacksonville Jaguars was 16 of 37, 151 yards, 4.1 yards per pass, 4 interceptions, 2 sacks. His QBR was 12.4 and his passer rating was 15.5. It's backup QB to an already average quarterback room. So Pittsburgh's leading rusher, James Conner, 13 carries for 89 yards, averaging 6.8 yards per carry. No touchdowns, but Benny Snell Jr. had a touchdown. James Robinson was the leading rusher for Jacksonville, 17 carries for 73 yards, averaging 4.3 yards per carry. Deontay Johnson, 12 receptions, 111 yards, 9.3 yards per reception. Chase Claypool had 59 yards on the game. They spread the ball out pretty good. DJ Chark Jr. was the leading receiver for Jacksonville, had 41 yards on 4 receptions. No touchdowns. Chase Claypool had a touchdown. Eric Ebron had a touchdown for the Steelers. Obviously, the Jaguars just kicked a field goal. That was the only thing they did the whole game. All right, moving on. Let's see what's up in the chat. Bial says Gable needs to stay where he's at and get the Super Bowl victory. DP says Vic did not want to be with Tennessee. I don't believe that he did want to be with Tennessee, I'll be quite honest with you. All right, so to answer the question for Marcus 85, thoughts on Patricia as a defensive coordinator. I want to get a little bit more clarity on that. Are you talking about his how well he is as a defensive coordinator, or him possibly, if he does get fired, coming to the Raiders as a defensive coordinator, or maybe another team just getting hired as a defensive coordinator? Thoughts on Tom Cable and potential future coaching opportunities? I think Tom Cable is definitely getting a lot of he's getting a lot of shine right now. There's a lot of people paying attention to what he's been able to do with the Raiders offensive line, specifically given how banged up the offensive line has been. At one point you're dealing with like 2 third-string offensive linemen because of all the injuries. You're having to Swiss Army knife the guys and move them back and forth. And, he's done a phenomenal job, an absolutely lights out phenomenal job coaching this offensive line, getting them prepared, getting the backups prepared, getting the backups prepared to step in and take on these really, really good pass rushes. There's guys out there getting paid a lot of money to rush the passer. And Derek Carr has been, for the most part, upright and clean this entire season. So kudos to him. I definitely feel like he deserves something. I don't know what will come of it. You never really can tell. But I know that there's some guys looking at him. I know there's some teams looking at him as a possible, future, whether it be a defensive coordinator offensive coordinator, or maybe a head coach. Who knows? But we'll definitely have to see. Bial says, my prediction is if we make the playoffs, Paul Guenther is not going anywhere. A lot of it's they're not going to do nothing until the end of the season. Mayock and Gruden are not going to do nothing until the end of the season. In my opinion, I'm not in their heads. I don't really know, but I really feel strongly that they're not going to do anything until then. If we do well in the playoffs, if this defense steps it up and things, get better, which they have actually gotten better. I'm not going to say they haven't. They're steadily getting better and better and better. If we do well in the playoffs, specifically defensively, it's a possibility that he'll be around for another season. But that all really depends on whether or not Gruden wants to deal with the headache. How much, because we don't see behind the scenes. We know that Gruden has stepped in because he said it publicly. So we know he stepped in, but we don't know to what degree. And we also don't know if that's something he's going to want to continue to do. Does he bring in somebody else? Does he promote a Rob Marinelli to take over the reins so that he doesn't have to be the one stepping in? Or is Rob Marinelli stepping in, and it's not actually John Gruden stepping in, and it's actually Rob Marinelli that's going in and making some changes and stuff. We don't really know. So a lot of it's going to have to be, looked at, and a lot of it has to do with how well we do in the playoffs. J-Dog 209, what's up, man? He says Abram would be a good linebacker, not the last line of defense. J-Dog 209 also says has to wrap up, though. Yes, definitely. And he needs to stop headhunting. He needs to be disciplined. Do your job, and the tackles will come. They'll come. I definitely love his tenacity. I love how energetic he is. He's the heart and soul of this defense, most definitely. But when it comes time to come through in the clutch, he's got to be able to do his job. Marcus85 said, in general, not necessarily the Raiders. Yeah, no, I think that Matt Patricia is a great defensive coordinator. I think that he learned from, a great coach in Bill Belichick. As much as I can't stand New England and everything about New England and everybody associated with New England, I'm not going to discredit the man. The man is a great coach. But I think he's definitely a better defensive coordinator than a head coach for sure. He's proven it. I mean, you can see it. There's really not anything else you could say. I would definitely say if he gets fired as head coach, he'll probably land a defensive coordinator position, or jump into doing on-air stuff and be a defensive minded analyst or whatever, and pull a Tony Romo. Let's see. If Abram played more safe and saved his big hits for only some plays, he'd be great. He's got the talent, just has to chill and play the ball. J-Dog 209. Yeah, I definitely agree. J-Dog says, like the video, guys. Yes, definitely. Let's get these likes going. I appreciate you guys. Biala says, we haven't seen Tanner Muse versatility at linebacker safety position yet. I keep the faith that he'll be great. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Tanner Muse, he was drafted this year, and unfortunately he got hurt and he's not going to play. So we'll have to see what happens with him in the offseason. Who knows? I mean, we could be okay on linebacker. It's really hard to tell at this point. I'm hoping that they'll bring in, maybe another, rookie linebacker in the draft, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. All right, moving on to the next game, Patriots-Texans. The Texans defeat the New England Patriots 27-20. I thought the Patriots were going to win this game. I was surprised that they did not. I was very shocked. Cam Newton, even though I'm not a big fan of Cam Newton, I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I think he's a freak athlete. I think the guy is a big man and he can definitely run the ball, but he's just not a quarterback. 26 of 40 for 365 yards, 9.1 yards per pass, a touchdown, 2 sacks. His QBR was 47.8 and his passer rating is 102.6. Deshaun Watson, 28 of 37, 344 yards, 9.3 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, no sacks, no interceptions. QBR of 86.4 and a passer rating of 121.9. Deshaun Watson, bro, you need to get the heck out of Texas. Like, seriously, get out of Houston. Get away from these Texans. Man, dude, run, and do not look back. Demand a trade. Get the heck out of there. They're wasting your talent. Like, bro, you're way too good to be with a team that's so poor. Damian Harris, 11 carries, 43 yards, averaging 3.9 yards per carry and a touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 6 carries for 36 yards. Again, dual threat quarterback, averaging 6 yards per rush and 1 touchdown. And then Duke Johnson had 10 carries for the Texans for 15 yards, no touchdowns. Yeah, the run game for these two teams was terrible in this game. Like 86 yards total for New England and then 55 for Houston running. Damiere Byrd had 6 receptions. He was the leading receiver for New England, 132 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Cooks was the leading receiver, of course, for Houston, 4 receptions, 85 yards, 21.3 yards per reception. No touchdowns, though. Kiki Kuti, I think that's how you pronounce his name, did have a touchdown in the game. And that's it. I mean, it definitely didn't go the way I thought it would. I thought New England was a little bit of the better team, but in the end, Deshaun Watson and the Texans were able to pull it out. Hopefully, Deshaun Watson pulls himself out of Houston and gets to a team that, can use him and actually, possibly get to, somewhere in the playoffs that's deeper than the first round. All right, he says, Raider Nug says he lives to hear people, but has to play the ball more and wrap up on his tackles. I think he's talking about Abram. I think he's saying he loves to hit people. Icy Nate, do you think for this Paul Guenther defense to be successful, do we need a dominant, consistent pass rush? Yes. I mean, you definitely – I feel like for any team, you need a dominant pass rush. My personal opinion is that Paul Guenther's scheme, the 4-3 scheme, and how it's utilized, I think works really well in specifically in the AFC West. Where you can move your safety between the safety position and linebacker. You can use them to cover running backs coming out of the backfield, cover tight ends if you need to, use them to double team, so it works well when it comes to that. So you can still rush 4, and then you can still have 4 linebackers at times. I think the problem with Paul Guenther is that I think it's too complicated. The defense that played the Kansas City Chiefs in the first game, that second half, was a completely different defense. They ran a 3-4 and they did really, really well. Even running a 2-5, or sorry, not a 2-5, was it the 4-4? Anyway, I forget what I was trying to say, but even running with some extra linebackers in the backfield, where you're only rushing 3. I mean, that works pretty well. It worked pretty well against Kansas City, but guys got to get there. So like I said, me personally, I think all in all, any team has to have a good pass rush. But if you're going to rush 4 guys, you got to get to the freaking quarterback. If you're going to take a guy out of the backfield, you got to get to the quarterback. Otherwise, rush 3, and let your linebackers and your DBs do their job and cover the pass. It's frustrating, man, when you run 4 guys and you barely sniff the quarterback. So anyhow, moving on. Do you think Patriots will re-sign him? Cam Newton, I feel like they probably won't, just because he struggled a lot and at one point got benched. So I have a feeling that unless he can turn things around, I personally don't feel like it's a very good outlook for him coming into next season. I think he signed a 1-year deal, so he might be a one and done. BL says a lot of these talented QBs release the ball quickly. Yes, they do. J-Dog, Mahomes got Abram to pull up out of his safety spot because the Chiefs know he was too excited for a big hit. That's what happened last play. It is. Roy said Watson should go to the Eagles or Browns, possibly. J-Dog 209, Abram took the bait. He sure did. Marcus 85, I could see those teams, maybe even the Bears, try to capitalize on Mac before he bounces. Yeah, definitely there's going to be some teams in the hunt for Khalil Mack, and the Bears might want to shop him for some draft capital, so they can get themselves a replacement quarterback or the next quarterback. J-Dog 209, so many what ifs the game, like Edwards caught that or got a pass interference. Arnett's BS pass interference call when Kelsey was holding him at the same time. Ridiculous. Yep. Kingston Rodriguez says, sorry, man, I have to leave, take care of something, but I will be back next time. All right, Kingston, man. Peace out, man. Bial says, Raiders took the L, but came out looking like winners. Yes, they did. Icy Nate, okay, got it. Hope we can get the best 4 DL out there very soon. Yeah, and then, we'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute, but if you guys want to call into the show, definitely do so. Give me your 2 cents on these NFL games. J-Dog says, is Simpson hurt? I think he might be. But I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen any injury report recently. J-Dog 209, haven't seen him. Roy says, rumor has it that Mac might come back to the Raiders. I think that's going to be a consistent rumor going forward, that he's always going to be a possibility for him, to be coming back. So yeah. All right. So next up, we got the Dolphins and the Broncos. The Broncos beat the Dolphins surprisingly 20-13. Made the Dolphins look kind of exposed, like the team that we thought they were at the beginning of the season. Tua got taken out of the game at one point, and Ryan Fitzpatrick went in. Fitzpatrick was 12 of 18 for 117 yards, 6.5 yards per pass, and 1 interception. QBR of 34.6, passer rating 61.6. Now, Tua said he was 11 of 20 for 83 yards, 4.2 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 6 sacks. I mean, he got sacked 6 freaking times in that game. That's not good. That in the playoffs, good luck. QBR 26.5 and a passer rating of 81.9. Not terrible for a rookie quarterback. Drew Lock was 18 of 30 for 270 yards, averaging 9 yards per pass, 1 interception. QBR 73.5 and a passer rating 75.7. Drew Lock is not good. We all knew this going into the season. We still know it. But yeah, Salvin Ahmed was the leading rusher for the Dolphins, 12 carries for 43 yards. Melvin Gordon was the leading rusher for the Broncos. Melvin Gordon III, 15 carries for 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. Philip Lindsay had 16 carries for 82 yards, but no touchdowns. And then Devontae Parker was the leading receiver for the Dolphins. He had 61 yards on the game, 1 touchdown. And then Tim Patrick was the leading receiver for Denver, 5 receptions, 119 yards, no touchdowns. I don't see either one of these teams going anywhere in the playoffs if they happen to make it. I don't think the Broncos aren't going to make the playoffs. Period. If the Dolphins happen to make the playoffs, I don't feel like they're really gonna. They don't have what it takes to go places. I was a little bit concerned about the Raiders playing them later this season, but at this point, I'm not. All right, next up, Chargers 34, or excuse me, Chargers Jets game. Chargers win 34-28. They tried to lose this game. They tried really, really hard, which the Chargers seem to want to do a lot this season is lose games. They really try hard to do that. Going to the chat real quick while I wait for my computer to load. Jomo said, "What up, homies?" Raider Nug 209 says, "Yes, he was a last minute inactive on Sunday." J-Dog Kingston, I believe he was watching from a different platform because I'm actually streaming on 2 different channels on 2 different platforms, Facebook and YouTube. So I believe he was watching on Facebook. So you won't see his chat coming through. That's why I try to call out a lot of this stuff, because sometimes you don't see it. Let's see. Sports Highlighting says, "What's up? What's up, man? How you doing?" Or girl, could be a girl. What's up, Sports Highlighting? Doing good, doing good. Bial says, "Miami QB Patrick is one tough SOB. A lot of teams could use him." Yeah, Fitzpatrick. I feel like they should not have taken him. They should not have benched him and put to it in the way they did, but that's just my opinion. J-Dog 209 says, "Lynn Bowden had 100 yards rushing." And then J-Dog 209 says, "Oh, haha, that makes sense." All right, so the Jets. Joe Flacco was 15 of 30 for 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked once. He had a QBR of 27.2 and a passer rating of 80.6. Justin Herbert was 37 of 49 for 366 yards. It's 7.5 yards per play. 3 touchdowns, 3 sacks, a QBR of 89.1 and a passer rating of 116.5. The guy, Justin Herbert, he's the real deal, man. This kid, out of all of, I like him the most out of all of the QBs that were drafted this season. All of the rookie QBs. I like him the most. And it's not just because he's an Oregon guy and I live in Oregon and I'm a Ducks fan, but I really like Justin Herbert. I like what he's doing. And I really, really hope that the Chargers can fix their coaching woes, possibly fix their staff and their coaching all together, like completely replace them and utilize this guy because he is really good. He is really, really good. Frank Gore was the leading rusher for the Jets. He had 15 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown. LaMichael Pirine, he had a touchdown, 33 yards on the game. Callum Balaj had 16 carries for 44 yards, no touchdowns. And then Justin Herbert had a couple of runs for 11 yards. No rushing touchdowns for this team. The leading receiver, Denzel Mims, for the Jets, 71 yards on 3 receptions, no touchdowns, but Rashad Perriman had a touchdown, and so did Chris Herndon. Keenan Allen, of course, the leading receiver for the Chargers, 16 receptions, 145 yards. He averaged 9.1 yards per reception and a touchdown. Excuse me, Mike Williams also had a touchdown, and so did Hunter Henry. So, but yes, they tried. The Chargers tried to lose that game. They're in our division, so I really never want them to win. But I picked them to win. I thought it was going to be a lot, not quite as close as it was, but I mean, it is what it is. All right, go back to the chat here. Marcus85 says, "How does Flacco still have a job?" Dude, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. You got me, bro. How does he have a job and Colin Kaepernick doesn't? That's my question. All right, Packers Colts. This was actually deemed the game of the week. I felt like it should have been the Raiders Chiefs game because that was a lot more fun to watch. But this was a good game. I'm not taking that away. It was a good game. The Colts were able to come back and overcome their struggles and to beat the Packers 34-31, which leaves both of them 7-3 on the season. Pull up the box score here. So Aaron Rodgers was 27-38 for 311 yards. He averaged 8.2 yards per pass, 3 touchdowns, interception, sacked once. He had a QBR of 76.3 and a passer rating of 110.7. Pretty standard Aaron Rodgers there. Phillip Rivers, Old Man Rivers, was 24-36 for 288 yards, 8 yards per pass, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 sack, QBR 68.4 and a passer rating of 107.2. Really, really good quarterback play in this game. Made it a fun game to watch. Again, I feel like the quarterback play, Kansas City Raiders game was really good as well. So it really could have went either way as far as game of the week. Aaron Jones was a leading receiver for Green Bay, 10 carries, 41 yards, and a touchdown. He averaged 4.1 yards per carry. Jonathan Taylor was the leading ball carrier for the Colts, 22 carries, 90 yards. He averaged 4.1 yards per carry, but no touchdowns. Green Bay, Devontae Adams had 7 receptions for 106 yards and a touchdown. Robert Tonyan had a touchdown. Sorry, guys. Every once in a while, this site that I'm using pops up and there's some audio. All right, Robert Tonyan had a receiving touchdown, and so did Jamal Williams for Green Bay. Michael Pittman Jr. was the leading receiver for the Colts. He had 3 receptions for 66 yards. It's 22 yards per catch and a touchdown. And Trey Burton had a touchdown in the game, and so did Jack Doyle as well. Yeah, so I thought Green Bay was going to win this game. I really did, but, the Colts defense really stepped up when it was necessary and was able to hold Green Bay back from scoring to give the Colts a chance to get back into the game. Phillip Rivers is definitely fortunate to have a defense like this because the dude is, historically he's really pretty average right now. So I don't really feel like he's that great. I know he'll go to the Hall of Fame eventually, but I feel like, he just doesn't have that it factor for me. All right, so next up we got the Cowboys versus the Vikings. I don't even know how the Vikings, let the Cowboys come and freaking stomp the yard on them like that. Makes no sense whatsoever. J-Dog 209 says, bro, why didn't you tell me you had a mullet? That's sick. I have a mullet? Are you talking to me? I don't have a mullet. Well, it's not really a mullet. It's shaved pretty much all the way around and then long. But yeah, it's like a Viking-ish type haircut. Anyhow, so yeah, you can see it from behind. But yeah. All right, so Dallas Cowboys defeat Minnesota Vikings 31-28. Andy Dalton was 22-32 for 203 yards, 3 touchdowns, an interception, 1 sack. He had a QBR of 81.6 and a passer rating of 104. Kirk Cousins was 22 of 30 for 314 yards, averaging 10.45 yards per pass, 3 touchdowns. He was sacked twice. He had a QBR of 76.2 and a passer rating of 140.1. Ezekiel Elliott had 21 carries for 103 yards. He averaged 4.9 yards per carry, but no touchdowns. Tony Pollard had a touchdown, rushing touchdown. Dalvin Cook, 27 carries for 115 yards. We all know Dalvin Cook is balling out. 4.3 yards per carry, a touchdown. Amari Cooper caught the ball 6 times for 81 yards. No touchdowns, but CeeDee Lamb had a touchdown, and so did Dalton Schultz, as well as Ezekiel Elliott had a receiving touchdown. Adam Thielen was the leading ball catcher of Minnesota. 8 receptions, 123 yards, 15.4 yards per reception, 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson had a touchdown in the game as well. So I don't know how, as the Minnesota Vikings team, you let them come out and do that. Like Andy Dalton, man. A backup quarterback. This team has been playing terrible all season. You let them come out and hang 31 on you. They got 3 wins on the season. I know Minnesota's only got 4, but dang. You got Dalvin Cook on your team. Ezekiel Elliott has fumbleitis. He definitely hasn't been playing the way that he normally does. I don't get it, man. I really don't. I guess any given Sunday, what are you going to do? But Bial says longevity doesn't make you a Hall of Famer. River sucks. Gotcha. I feel you, man. All right, last game, Rams versus the Buccaneers. The Rams defeat the Buccaneers 27-24. Rams coming back into the NFL to say, look, NFL, look, teams, we are not done yet. We're still here. They still got something to prove. They're 7-3 on the season. Tampa Bay is 7-4. Jared Goff was 39 of 51 for 376 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, no sacks. He had a QBR of 85.4 and a passer rating of 99.8. Tom Brady, the GOAT. Hate Tom Brady. 26 of 48, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He averaged 4.5 yards per pass. He was sacked once. He had a QBR of 55.2 and a passer rating of 62.5. Tom Brady, the greatest of all time. He's so awesome still. He's an MVP candidate. That's what I have to say to that. JDog209 says, glad Rams won. Roy says that was a good game. It was a good game, and I'm glad the Rams won. I can't stand Tom Brady. Anytime Tom Brady loses is a good day for me. I enjoy it. Malcolm Brown carried the ball for the Rams 3 times for 20 yards. No touchdowns, no rushing touchdowns for the Rams. Ronald Jones for Tampa Bay carried the ball 10 times for 24 yards. Leonard Fournette did have he had 17 yards on the game, but one rushing touchdown. Antonio Brown was the leading receiver for the Buccaneers. I can't stand AB either. I'm a Raiders fan, so of course I hate Antonio Brown. 8 receptions for 57 yards, averaging 7.1 yards per reception. No touchdowns. Chris Godwin had a touchdown. Mike Evans had a touchdown. Cooper Kupp was the leading receiver for the Rams. He had 145 yards on the game out of 11 receptions. It's 13.2 yards per reception. No touchdowns, though, but Robert Woods had a touchdown, and so did Van Jefferson and Cam Akers. I really like to see that some of these guys that are not as well known get these little short passing touchdowns in the end zone, man. I really like that. Roy said Brady for senior citizen MVP. Absolutely. Raider Note 209, Vince said FAB, most definitely. Roy, I'm gonna drop a little factoid on you. So the oldest player to ever play football was a Raider. He was a quarterback and a kicker, and he went by the name of George Blanda. He played till he was 48 years old. Had one of the longest careers in NFL history. Played till he was 48. I mean, so you want to talk about senior citizen MVP? He was a kicker and a quarterback. So he has one of the highest scoring records in all of the NFL. So Raider Nug 209 says he did it all. Yes, he did. The original Slash. Bial says Brady's old age catching up to him. He can't see past 25 yards. Most definitely. Not everybody is made for this old time playing. Not everybody is built like a Raider. All All right, so yeah, 27-24 LA Rams. I'm glad they won. Tom Brady is definitely not what he used to be. I don't foresee Tampa Bay doing much in the playoffs. Maybe getting to the second round, possibly. I just don't see him making a lot of noise in the postseason. So, with that being said, we covered all the games in the NFL. If you guys want to call in, you guys got something you want to say, the phone lines are still open. You can give me a ring. We can talk about it real quick. But other than that, real quick, what I want to do is I want to show you guys something here. So, we got our merchandise on the website here. And we are going to have a Black Friday sale. It's going to be 25% off, but I got a little promo here I want to show you guys real quick. Yeah, so that link is in the description. We have men's apparel, we got women's apparel, we got baby apparel, we got coffee cups, we got face masks, we got beanies, we got hats, we got polos. I mean, there's pretty much any kind of apparel that you would want. We got there at the My City, My Game merch website. It's down in the description, 25% off for Black Friday. Get yourself something, get something for a friend or family member for Christmas. All of the proceeds that come in for the merch go right back into the channel. Like I said, we're going to be doing some giveaways coming up here in the holiday season. I'm going to be doing a giveaway challenge that I'm going to be talking about here, trying to get to 500 subscribers. So definitely check that out. But yeah, man, if you guys want to talk about, the Raiders real quick, we can definitely discuss that. But other than that, if you don't want to call in or we're not, we don't want to talk about the Raiders stuff. We've talked about all the NFL stuff. Make sure you guys go check out the merchandise, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like, share the channel, share the videos, trying to get to 500 subscribers. I will have a giveaway, and I'll let you know what that's going to be here coming up in the next week. So other than that, man, you guys, man, have a good week. We got our preview show for the game against, oh gosh, who are we playing this week? Dang it. The Raiders are playing, oh my goodness. Why is my brain not working? I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, my brain is not working. All right, Nug, appreciate you, man. Raider historical history is the best. Bial says, yep. Why is my computer not working? Oh my gosh, we are playing the Falcons. Thank you, Lencho. Appreciate you, man. We are playing the Falcons. Sorry about that, guys. Had a bit of a memory lapse. Yeah, so we will have the preview show coming up. Me and Darian will have the preview show coming up this Friday. So make sure you hit the notification bell. We'll let you know when that's going to be. We usually do it around about like 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern. So make sure you check that out. We are going to be doing Thursday Night Football on the Spotlight Sports Network. So check that out as well. Like, subscribe to that. We're trying to get that network channel to 1,000 subscribers. We're going to be doing some giveaways based on that too as well. So definitely check it out. I'm saying right now, here's my bold prediction. I'm going to put it right here on wax, as we used to say back in the day. Right now, we're going to say on vinyl, or sorry, not vinyl, on video, excuse me. I'm going to say we're going to be 12-4 on the season. I feel like we're going to win out the rest of the season. And we're going to go to the playoffs. I'm saying especially if we take on Kansas City, man, nobody wants to see the Raiders in the postseason. Nobody. This team is that good, bro. The Raiders are back. We're playing lights out. Yeah, we got our struggles on defense. The offense is lights out, though. You don't want to see that in the playoffs, man. We'll score in bunches. I'm saying we're going to go all the way to the AFC Championship and to the Super Bowl. If we continue to play at the level we're playing offensively and improve those, defensive woes, which I believe that we are, I'm saying, man, the Raiders are Super Bowl bound this season, 12-4 on the season, man. Roy says, keep up the good work and stay safe with everything going on in the world. See you next video. Absolutely. See you guys next video. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you stay up and stay safe. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all y'all. Appreciate you so much. You guys have a good one. I'm going to leave you guys with a little promo we're having through Thrive Fantasy, and I'll see you guys next time. What's up, Fantasy Champions? Spotlight Sports Network is excited to tell you about an amazing deal from Thrive Fantasy, your place for daily fantasy sports and esports. Right now, with promo code SS Network, Thrive Fantasy will match up to $50 of your first deposit. So go to thrivefantasy.com and sign up now with promo code SS Network. That's thrivefantasy.com, promo code SS Network. Welcome to the My City, My Game pod show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go.